Have you ever wanted to make an impact on a game? To leave your mark for everyone to see? To let the masses witness your magnum opus? Well, I got very lucky to have that opportunity.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
I'd like to briefly touch upon the map making process of Nuclear Blizzard, as if I go over the whole process, this video would be insanely long. Obviously, map making starts off with an idea. Many ideas. I initially got the idea of making Nuclear Blizzard from a trio map called Below Kelvin, a map with a frigid atmosphere. Along with that, the song used in the map Hollow Energy caught my attention, and I wanted to make something by combining these two concepts. Both maps were very flawed, however, with the main issue being that the gameplay was poorly executed. I wanted to do the idea I had just created justice, so I decided to work on what is now known as Nuclear Blizzard. I started with a layout which ended up having a bunch of content scrapped and changed in the end. For example, these two slide beams. Or this whole section after the tower gameplay. And even the color of this lava in the room before the final stretch. Along with that, there were actually two failed attempts to detail Nuclear Blizzard that never saw the light of day. Both of these failed attempts featured a friend helping me detail, however in the end, I detailed everything myself. Nuclear Blizzard is actually the map that got me my iconic detailing style that you see in my future maps. It's just been built upon a bunch. Overall, the map making process takes a lot of time, effort, dedication, creativity, and skill, though once completed, is rewarding like no other, and rewarding I would receive. The highlight period itself. Believe it or not, I've actually been making maps since 2018, which was 8 years before I got highlighted. It felt surreal to me that my entire FE2 career had led up to this moment, that my dream of getting a map into the main game would come true. If I were to have a conversation with my old self and tell them that I had actually completed my goal, it would probably go something like Dude, did you know that you'd be friends with Crazy Blocks in 8 years and have gotten a map into the main game in FE2? Did you know that? Did you know that it's called Nuclear Blizzard and that I am the creator? You're the one who did that. Did you know that? Are you okay? How do you get in my house? Also, if you're me from the future, why are you a girl? Yeah, we don't talk about the last part. Anyways, everything was going smoothly. The map was scheduled to be highlighted in the next 2 days of me getting this notice, and I was ecstatic. This was it. The moment I had been waiting for. Hi Cyanide. Just to let you know, the next highlight release is delayed until the next update for FE2 is out. Not to worry however, as the highlight period will still be extended to accommodate for this. Sorry for the change of plans. No worries. Obviously, the first issue with the highlight was that it had just been delayed indefinitely. I originally thought this would only take a few days, however I waited. And waited. And waited. The highlights team would occasionally give me updates, however I felt as though I had been left in the dark. I'll give credit where it's due though, they did deliver eventually. This, however, would lead me to the next big issue I encountered: shortcuts. The shortcuts community is ruthless. They will find anything they can use in the map, from something as minor as a part left collidable to a whole new hidden path within areas normally unreachable to the common eye. Even though I tested the map, they still managed to find a shortcut that skipped button 4 entirely. It looked something like this. And while I did patch the shortcut right away, the map cannot be updated within the highlight period, at least from what I know. Along with that, I ran into the issue of people asking me questions. A lot of questions. They would see me in game and say, "Whoa, that's the creator of Nuclear Blizzard," which would lead to an endless amount of questions from nosy players who just wanted to know everything. I'm not saying it's wrong to ask questions, however it's something I like to avoid since majority of the time, I just like to blend in and play as a normal player. And then of course came an even bigger problem to tackle: the in-game map creator credits removal. When you load into a map in Community Maps, it shows you who made the map in big text. Here's an example. However, after this change, permanent Community Maps in FE2 specifically would no longer show who created them. This was done for a couple of reasons, though they have not explicitly been stated by the FE2 team. The main two reasons a lot of people, including myself, can think of is the fact that there have been instances of map creators who are bad people still receiving credit for the maps they made despite dramas and controversies they've been involved in. Along with that, there was the issue of freeloaders, where people would only contribute a small amount to a map and still receive the full benefits of being a highlight creator. I, however, believe that the F2 team should instead take action on the problematic creators via removing their credits individually, or just removing their maps entirely if need be, as by taking away the credits of a community-driven game, they are destroying the recognition that map creators deserve for their hard work. And that is exactly why I removed Nuclear Blizzard. Call me egotistical, but I feel like I deserve the credit for the map I worked hard on for months on end, especially since this map was the peak of my FE2 career. Without those credits, I will never let Nuclear Blizzard return to the main game. However, despite all these troubles, I am still insanely grateful for the FE2 team and the community for giving me this opportunity. I could have never imagined being able to reach such an achievement like this when I first started creating Floodscape 2 maps. So, I'll end this on a good note. Don't stop trying. Don't ever give up your hope. Because when you put yourself out there for the world to see, maybe, just maybe, you'll step down from that podium one day with not just a smile on your face, but a story to tell and a trophy to carry. Hi y'alls, it's Editing Zaya here. I just want to thank you for watching this video because, I don't know, it's like one of my first videos where I actually put like a script together and did a lot of retakes for my voice lines, put a lot of effort into the editing. I'll flash a fucking thing of my fucking timeline. It was absolutely abysmal. But it was just a fun experience, I guess you could say. So I just hope you enjoyed. I hope my voice wasn't too bad. I hope it didn't make you throw up or something. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video.